world is filled with natural wonders. As with other naturalists fueled with curiosity, I've endeavored to understand as much as I can about these wonders. A timeless and invaluable tool that most naturalists use is a journal. A journal not only helps the naturalist to reflect upon his observations, but protects the observations from the human memory, which is notorious for distorting and neglecting details. I am passionate about my studies and love to share with anybody willing to engage. This is why I create and share my nature journal. With a few exceptions, most of the birds we've seen this past week are here to stay for the summer. Perched here, high in a tree, is a male brown-headed cowbird. The females do not actually have a brown head. Last week, I mentioned that cowbirds are parasitic nesters, meaning they lay their eggs in the nests of other birds for those birds to rear, often to the detriment of their own chicks. I showed a handful of woodland nesters affected by the cowbirds, but figured I should show an actual cowbird. The veery is more often heard than seen. Its song is this beautiful downward spiral. They nest on the woodland floor or close to the floor. They too are affected by cowbirds. Another bird we have here, more commonly heard than seen, is the alder flycatcher. This bird, however, breeds in shrubby fields rather than the woodlands. We have had hummingbirds here for the past few weeks, but they're not nearly as common as they were last summer. The sanctuary's most common nesting warbler are the common yellowthroats. Here is a female being joined by a male. The common yellowthroats rarely stay out in the open long. They skulk in the bushes at the edges of fields. We usually get a chestnut-sided warbler or two nesting here. This one is singing loud, probably still in search of a female. Matt predicted this week that in one place in the forest, if we went 20 to 25 feet high in a tree, we would find a mourning warbler singing. Needless to say, he was correct. We get one pair that nests here every year in this particular spot. Notice the two-part song, the second part lower in pitch than the first. And never mind the ovenbird in the background.
One other notable warbler we came across this week was the northern parula. Parulas are arguably the most gaudy of the warblers, with their blue heads and back, yellow chest and chin, and the red necklace. These birds won't breed here. They prefer to construct their nests in stringy lichens, such as old man's beard in the north and Spanish moss in the south. The song is quite distinctive, the ascending trilly buzz ending with a single sharp low note. We are fortunate to be able to experience them during their migration. More insects are emerging around the sanctuary. Here we've got a checker spot caterpillar. We noticed an eastern tiger swallowtail laying an egg on this elm leaf one day. It is incredibly tiny. Notice it's about the same size as the individual plant cells. One butterfly species that used to be common here but has not been seen in several years is the silvery blue. Now, for some reason, they've been quite common this past week or two. It is a widespread species, spanning most of North America. This cold hardy butterfly is one of the earliest to emerge in the spring, but do not persist very far into the summer. We hope their abundance this spring means that their populations are rebounding. We do have plenty of habitat for them, and since their host plants are of the legume family, they should be quite happy here. Red admiral butterflies are now beginning to make an appearance. They are extremely widespread, being found all the way south to Central America, and then west to Hawaii, and even Europe and Asia. Probably the commonality of their host plants of the nettle family helps them. And we're also seeing more pearl crescent butterflies lately. This one is soaking in the sun rays early in the morning so that it can heat its wings up enough to fly and go throughout its daily routine. It is not uncommon to see butterflies, especially pearl crescents, mudding. They can get water and minerals and nutrients from the mud by sipping on it. While observing these alcohol inky mushrooms, I noticed a pair of flies mating. These are Drosophila flies, commonly known as fruit flies. As the common name suggests, they do have an association with fruit. They eat rotting fruit and lay their eggs in it. Their high reproductive rate, perhaps having a new generation every 10 days, makes them a vital part in the food chain. This also makes them an important part of genetic studies. They do possess relatively large chromosomes, which makes them readily observable. Geneticists have found that these fruit flies share up to 20% of identical DNA to humans. Perhaps some of the most conspicuous insect activity we've had around is the quote-unquote spittle on all of our field plants. This spittle is created by the nymphs of spittle bugs, also known as frog hoppers. By prodding around in the spittle, the nymph can be found. And I believe this is the adult spittlebug. Around the waters, dragonflies are starting to become active. These are darners darting back and forth. And we're beginning to get common whitetails, members of the skimmer family. Only the males have the white abdomens that these dragonflies are named for. On the beds of swift-flowing creeks are ameletid mayfly larvae. An abundance of these is a good sign because they are very pollution intolerant. Found in the same habitat in almost every other body of water, standing or flowing, are water striders. It appears to be breeding season for the water striders. And found only in standing water are water boatmen. We've been seeing a lot more of them lately. Now is the season that deer are giving birth. A doe can birth up to 3 fawns, but I think this one was a single. I've seen it now a couple of times and never with a sibling. The mother will leave the fawn for a period of time to go feed on her own. If anybody ever finds a fawn, so long as it's not near a road where it's in danger of being hit by a car, they should leave it alone. The mother will return for it. Full-grown, healthy deer have no natural predators in our region, since the wolves and mountain lions have been extirpated. The fawns, however, do have predators still, the coyote mainly. Fortunately, they are difficult to track down, since they emit almost 0 scent. But like I said, the mother is usually not far and will return soon to nurse her young. Our mission at Spring Farm Cares Nature Sanctuary is to protect wildlife and enhance habitat around central New York. We thank everybody for supporting us, and if anyone has any questions, comments, would like to learn more, or schedule a tour with us, please check out our website or find us on Facebook.